Hi everyone, this is my second lecture. I'm going to deal with display devices, which is in the subject of CAD CAM for final year students. My name is Bhanulata, Associate Professor working in Mechanical Department of Chebrolu Engineering College. So today the topic explained was display devices. So, coming to the definition of display devices, a display device is an output device for presentation of information for visual reception. Visual means the things that we see with an eye. So, the information that we present to see and can be seen with an eye is called as a display. The display systems are often referred to as video monitor or video display unit. Display devices are designed to project, show, exhibit, or display soft copy information. So, the display devices usually we go for a graphic display devices which are used for the viewer images and to communicate with display image by adding, by deleting, blanking and moving graphics entities on the display screen. Various display technologies are now available based on the concept of converting the computer electrical signals into visual images at high speeds. So, coming to the some of the display devices that are available are cathode ray tube, raster scan display, random scan display, liquid crystal display, and light emitting diode. So the first one is cathode ray tube. Cathode ray tube. Cathode ray tube. A cathode ray tube is basically an evacuated glass in which a beam of electrons is fired from the electrical gun on the phosphor coated screen, resulting in an illuminated rays being displayed on the screen. So this is there are certain parts explained in the cathode ray tube. The parts are electron gun, electron beam, focusing foils, deflection coils, anode connection, shadow mask, phosphor layer, close up of the phosphor coated inner side of the screen. Here in the picture the parts are easily given, where the first part is electron gun, the second part is electron beam, and the third one is focusing coil, fourth one is deflection coils, fifth one is anode connection, sixth one is shadow mask, seventh one is phosphor layer, and eighth one is close up of the phosphor coated inner side of the screen. Eighth one, once again I repeat the eighth one, that is close up of the phosphor coated inner side of the screen. This eighth part shows the phosphor coated screen which is located inner side of the on the inner wall of the conical flask. So coming to the next slide, here it shows a clear diagrammatic representation how cathode ray tube works and its parts which are explained in a 2D diagram. So here we have cathode pens, again base, and then electron gun, focusing screen, vertical deflection plates, horizontal deflection plates, phosphor coated screen, and then electron beam, which is this electron beam is passed from electron gun to the end of the phosphor coated screen. On this screen which is coated with the phosphor, this is a visual screen which we can see, which we can see the the process that is being done in this cathode ray tube is, it is specialized vacuum tube in which images are produced when an electron beam strikes a phosphorescent surface. Means A cathode ray tube or a CRT is a specialized vacuum tube in which images are produced when an electron beam strikes a phosphorescent surface. Means the image as shown in the figure above, we have an electron beam which moves from the starting base to the phosphorus coating image. So this is a tube that is filled with a vacuum, produces an electron beam. It shows on a phosphorescent screen. It consists of one or more electron guns and a phosphorescent screen used to view images. It also contains magnetic deflection coils and focuser systems. As I show that in the 2D diagram, the conical flask which is filled with a vacuum, and it has electron guns, fluorescent screen, and a magnetic deflection coils for the focusing system. And next, this is the 3D view of a cathode ray tube which appears. So how the electron gun appears in the cathode ray tube. What is an electron gun? The electron gun consists of both beam of electrons which is fired into the electron gun consists of it consists of a beam of electrons. In this slide, I explain about the heat is supplied to the cathode by a filament. The free electrons are then accelerated towards the phosphor coating by a high positive voltage. A positive charged metal coating on the side of the CRT envelope near the phosphorus screen. Intensity of the electron beam is controlled by setting voltage level on the control grid. A smaller negative voltage on the control grid simply decreases the number of electrons passing through it. Actually, a CRT electron gun and deflection system for the location of the beam on the screen. A picture is stored as a charge in the phosphorus mesh located behind the surface screen. Once displayed, the picture remains on the screen until it explicitly erased. Therefore, complex pictures can be drawn without flicker and high resolution. And this is connected to the system. And now, what is meant by the accelerating anode? The accelerating anode is maintained at sufficient high relative potential to accelerate the beam to the necessary velocity. The accelerating anode. This accelerating anode consists of, here I am showing a 2D diagram which shows the accelerating anode, where there is a heating filament, there is a cathode, there is a control grid, focusing anode and accelerating anode. So from the heating element, the electrons pass through the control grid and then to the focusing anode and then to the accelerating anode. The accelerating anode is maintained at the sufficient high relative potential to accelerate the beam to the next nearest necessary velocity. So the velocity is maintained in the accelerating anode. And now coming to the focusing system. How the focusing system is being moved. Here we have electron connecting pins, base, electron gun and a focusing system which takes through the accelerating anode. It comes to the focusing system and then it deflects. A magnetic coil deflection coils will be present. It deflects the electron beam and moves on the inner phosphor coated screen, where the outside it is displaced on the screen. What is a focusing system? The focusing system is needed to force the electron beam to converge into small spot and it strikes the phosphor. The electron beam will be focused properly only at the center of the screen. As the beam moves to the outer edges of the screen, displayed images become blurred. So here, as far as the sentence given, the electron beam will be focused properly at the center of the screen. If the beam moves to and fro, the images become blurred. And now coming to the deflection system. The deflection system contains a set of coils mounted at the neck of the tube. There are two sets of deflection plates. One pair of plates is mounted horizontally to control the vertical deflection. and other are mounted vertically to control the horizontal deflection. Again I am showing you the 2D diagram of a cathode ray tube where we are having two deflection systems are present. One is horizontal deflection system and other is vertical deflection system. In the horizontal deflection system is used to control the horizontal plates are used to control the horizontal deflection and vertical plates are used to control the vertical deflection. As the beam of electrons moves from electron gun to the focusing system and then they move to the horizontal deflection plates and then move to the vertical deflection plates, so that the image is placed at the center on the phosphorus coated system. Right, if the image is placed at the center of the phosphorus coated system, it shows a clear image instead of a blurred image. And now coming to the spot of light. To know about the spots of light, we need to know about three types. The first one is persistence, and then resolution and aspect ratio. What is meant by the persistence? The time it takes the emitted light from the screen to decay to 1/10 of the original intensity. Original intensity, it is related to the 1/10 of its original intensity. That is called as a persistence. The time taken to decay to the screen to give 1/10 of its original intensity. And the second one comes to the resolution. Resolution means the maximum number of points that can be displayed without overlap on the CRT. Without overlapping on the CRT on the cathode ray tube, the maximum number of points that can be displayed is called as a resolution. And then third one is aspect ratio. The number given to the ratio of vertical points to the horizontal points necessary to produce equal line lengths in the both directions of the screen. The number gives the ratio of vertical points to the horizontal points necessary to produce equal length lines in both directions of the screen. So here aspect ratio shows how many vertical, it shows the ratio of vertical and horizontal points that are placed on the screen. So based on these three definitions, the spots of lights are being defined on the screen. Then we have two types of displays. The first one is refresh CRT. Refresh CRT means one way to keep the phosphor glowing to relative to the picture repeatedly by quickly directing the electron beam back over to the same points. And phosphorus means phosphorus has a property to emit light when electron comes and hits it. The property is known as phosphorescence. So on the display screen we use the internal is a phosphorus screen. It is coated with a phosphor. Why? Because phosphor is having a property to emit light when the electron guns comes and hits on it. So we usually use a phosphorus coated screens because it emits lights easily. Coming to the next slide, we have two types of displays. First is raster scan display, and then the other one is random scan display. Coming to the raster scan display, in a raster scan system, the electron beam is swept across the screen, one row at the time from top to the bottom. As the electron moves across each row, the beam intensity is turned on and off to create a pattern of illuminated spots. Picture definition is stored in many areas called the refresh buffer or frame buffer. In refresh buffer or frame buffer, the memory area holds the set of intensity values for all the screen points. So this is nothing but a raster scan display where the electron in the raster scan display where the screen is scanned from left to right, top to bottom all the time to generate graphics. Right? The stored intensity values then reviewed from the refresh buffer and painted on the screen, one row, same line at the same time. So this is how the raster scan display is moved as shown in the figure, where it moves from one row to the another as shown on the same line. On the black and white system with one bit per pixel, the frame buffer is called bitmap. For system with multi bits per pixel, the frame buffer is called pixmap. Refreshing or raster scan display is carried out at the rate of 60 to 80 frames per second. 60 to 80 frames per second. And coming to the horizontal returns, horizontal return, the return to the left to the slide to the left of the screen after refreshing each scan line is called as a raster scan display. Here I can see here I'm showing you clearly what is meant by a raster scan display. Here there are many horizontal lines and the scan line which is moved. So when there are many horizontal lines, the image starts from the first point and then moves to the last point. Again there is a dotted line which shows the line to the second line, second line starting point, and then the image moves from this to the another one. After it moves on to the screen. When it ends, when the last line comes, when the screen ends, when the image ends there, it again goes to the line again goes to the first line. This is nothing but this is nothing but a raster scanning system where the image is scanned into the entire screen. In the vertical entrance at the end of each frame displayed in 1/80th to 1/60th of the second, the electron beam returns to the top left corner of the screen to begin the next frame. See, you can see here how the electron beam returns to the top left of this corner to begin the screen to the next frame. Next, the another type of graphic display is random scan display. Random scan monitors draw the picture online at the time. Vector display, stroke writing or calligraphic displays. Refresh rate depends on the number of lines to be displayed. Picture definition is now stored as line drawing commands and areas of memory referred to the refresh display file, which is also called as a display list. Now you can see how the random scan is moved. The component lines of the picture can be drawn and refreshed as shown in the figure. Next, the random scan displays are designed for line drawing applications and cannot display realistic shades. And the random scan displays can be generated by drawing vectors or line segments on the screen in the random order, which are controlled by user input and software. As shown in the picture, we can draw lines using a random scan display. So now coming to the differences between random and raster scan display. Raster scan display, you have picture with a better contrast, whereas random scan display cannot produce contrast memory and does not store intensity value of pixel. In the raster scan display, you have less resolution, whereas in random scan display, you have high resolution. In a raster scan display, you have capable of producing curves better. In random scan display, you have only smooth line drawings. Smooth line drawings means you can only draw 2D drawings. In raster scan display, used in the system realistic images, whereas in random scan display, we cannot draw realistic or shaded screens. In raster scan display, the cost is less, whereas random scan display, the cost is more. In the raster scan display, mainly used for point plotting, whereas in random scan display, line drawing known as vector display. Usually raster scan display we give as in TV sets as an example, and random scan display we give pen plotters as an example. And now coming to the liquid crystal display, the another crystal display device which is called as a liquid crystal display. Liquid crystal display. It is used in small areas such as calculators, laptops, computers, etc. Produce a picture by passing polarized light from the surrounding or from the internal light source through a liquid crystal material that can be aligned to either block or transmit the light. Light is either transmitted or blocked, depend upon the orientation of molecules in the liquid crystal. The polarization characteristics of certain organic compounds are used to modify the characteristics of an incident light. The basic principles of a polarized light are shown in the non-coherent light is passed through the first left polarizer. The resulting transmitted light is polarized in the xy plane. Since the polarizing action of the second polarizer is also aligned in xy plane, the light continues to the second polarizer. The polarizing action of the second polarizer is rotated 90 degrees to the first. Consequently, the plane polarized light that passes through the first polarizer is absorbed by the second. Here you can show a clear diagram of how the polarized light is being moved. Here they placed two glasses, each containing a light polarized at the right angles to another place. Sandwich the light liquid crystal materials, rows of horizontal transparent conductor or columns and columns of vertical conductors put into a glass plates. Here there are many parts which are shown. One is a transparent conductor. Here we have a polarizer on state. Next here you have pneumatic liquid crystal. Here again a polarizer and a transparent conductor. So based on we have two transparent conductors and two polarizers which are placed horizontally to one another. And then and it shows how the how the moves to the how the polarizing light moves to one in right angles to one plate to another, which are sandwiched with the liquid crystal materials. So here we can say the light is transmitted when when both are placed in a 90 degrees to one another, and light is absorbed when both are placed in different ways. Polarizing light passing through the material is twisted so that it will pass to the opposite polarizer. The light is then reflected back to the viewer. So when it is placed opposite to one another, the light is reflected to one another, which I will be showing in the next slide. What is meant by a liquid crystal? The compounds have a crystalline arrangement of molecules, yet they flow like a liquid. What is meant by a liquid crystal? The liquid crystal is nothing but these are the compounds which are having crystalline arrangement of molecules, yet they flow like a liquid. Yet they flow like a liquid. Liquid arrangement of molecules, yet they flow like a liquid. Here I am showing how the polarizing effect is being done, how the light is transmitted. Coming to this slide, we can see on state and off state. In on state, the incident light moves from a polarizer, which is where we can see the vertical line which is placed in a vertical direction. A vertical line that is placed in a vertical direction, and it shows a waveform in the polarizer. And next, this light is passed through the molecules, and then it again passed to the another polarizer, which is placed in a horizontal way. So when the instant light is passed from one polarizer which is placed in a vertical way, and then to the another polarizer, and then moves to the another polarizer which is placed in a horizontal way, we can say that light is transmitted, which is called as an on state. And then coming to the off state, when the instant light polarizer is placed vertically, and then and then you can see the medium electronic fluid which is also placed vertically, and this is moved to the again polarizer here it is placed horizontally. So the vertical form of the instant light, and then the electronic fluid, when the electronic fluid the instant light both are placed in a vertical form, that this is called as an off state. And if you can see in the above picture, both the instant light and the electron and we have a twisted pneumatic cell. When we have a twisted pneumatic cell in between, the light is being transformed. That is called as a transmit state. So this on state means it is the state where the system is on and you can see the display, and the off state is the place where the system is off and you cannot see any display present. And then next, coming to the light emitting diode. An LED display is a video display which uses light emitting diodes. A LED panel is a small display or a component of a larger display. They are typically used outdoors in store signs and billboards. LED panels are sometimes used as a form of lighting for the purpose of general illumination, task lighting, or even stage lighting rather than display. So all LED devices emitted low intensity red light, but modern LEDs are available across the visible, ultraviolet and infrared wavelengths with the very high brightness. LED are based on the semiconductor diodes. When the diode is forward bias switched on, electrons are able to recombine with the holes and energy is released in the form of light. This effect is called as an electroluminescence, and the color of the light is determined by the energy gap of a semiconductor. Actually, the color is more clear in the LED lights, where the LED light present many advantages over traditional light sources, including low energy consumption, longer life, improved robustness, smaller size and faster switching. However, they are relatively expensive and require more precise current and heat management than traditional light sources. Applications of LED devices are: they are used as low energy indicators, but also for replacements for traditional light sources in general lighting and automotive lighting. The component size of LEDs have allowed new text and video displays and sensors to be developed, while their high switching rates are useful in communication technologies. So this is an LED display which is showed in the diagram, where we can see different colors of light emissions which are used, and you know what is an LED display. And now I close the topic. Thank you, one and all.